Services at Redline Solutions. Today we're going to go over the highlights from yesterday's webinar entitled Beyond Traceability, the Benefits of the PTI. Well, there are some ancillary tools that you're going to encounter if you implement the PTI and its corresponding best practices. Those ancillary tools include barcodes and scanners, labels at both the case level and the pallet level. The one at the pallet level, the hybrid pallet tag, facilitates getting the needed information off of every case without having to tear down the pallet and reassemble it. Of course, the incorporation of some type of standards, and the standards used for the PTI is the GS1 standards. There's a document called the Advanced Ship Notice, which gives you advance notice of what actually ships prior to the receiver receiving the truck. And then there are the computer records that are generated from scanning information, and then the corresponding best practices that give industry guidelines on how to do a certain process. Well, there's three different categories of benefits. Let's start with the benefits directly related to traceability. The first benefit, obviously, it enables electronic records. When you're scanning information, it automatically stores it into a computer and gives you the power of computer to bear on that information. It expedites the investigation. If the FDA has consistent information, complete and accurate information, as well as access to electronic records, their investigation can be sped up tremendously. It minimizes the amount of implicated product because we have a specific lot or batch number, and we also have specificity as to what product it is, not just the commodity, but the variety, the pack configuration, the growing method, the brand, so forth and so on. It pulls tainted product out of the supply chain faster, as with a lot or batch number, we can get to the source of the problem and do our testing quickly so that we can find out whether we do have the problem or not, and then we can get it out of the supply chain faster. The faster we get it out of the supply chain, the more we're able to minimize how many consumers get sick and consume that food. You know, we're in a commodity industry, and as such, when a commodity gets implicated, every grower's product that grows that commodity gets pulled from the supply chain. So having the ability to check faster the lot or batch numbers that have been implicated will allow you to clear your product from being guilty by association. The sooner that you can know what the implicated source is, the sooner you can do your testing, and the faster you can put your product back into commerce when that test becomes negative. All of this allows you to protect not only your company and your brand, but the commodity and the industry overall. And let's face it, when all things are equal, a customer is going to go with someone that makes them more efficient, but also makes them more safer. Now let's take a look at the benefits that are related to using industry standards. The primary focus is on the data itself. The data itself is always consistent, accurate, complete, and clear. You're always going to be getting the same information in the barcode. It's always going to be in the same format and the same type. As such, it allows you to anticipate what you can expect. By doing so, you can build databases, you can build programs and processes based on the fact that you're always going to get it the same way in the same format every time. By doing so, it standardizes not only the information that's put into your system, but how we capture and how we print that information. So it does standardize the tool set as well. Now let's take a look at the benefits as it relates to your operations and also supply chain efficiencies. Having this information in a computer allows you to run additional analytics that will identify certain patterns and or measure certain things. And this could be anything from cut to cool time to productivity on how many pieces a specific packer packed, so forth and so on. It automates the inventory, and this is not only inventory that comes out of the field from bins into your storage shed, but it also it creates an inventory record of how much product you actually packed, what came into your warehouse, and what left your warehouse. With milestones 6 and 7 of the PTI, as well as the Advanced Ship Notice, you can get electronic records of what you actually shipped and what you actually received. If you use the pack or harvest date as part of the PTI case label, you're better able to manage the shelf life of that product and deal with FIFO and LIFO type loading and unloading. With the use of the Advanced Ship Notice, you can reduce your unloading time dramatically. That frees up your dock spaces to get your trucks in sooner. You can get that product in and get it cooled faster. When you send the ASN or the corresponding invoice, you can also allow for automatically reconciling that data to the purchaser or the receiving invoice. Then, of course, when you do this in an automated fashion, it reduces the amount of administrative paperwork and the errors associated with that paperwork. Well, in summary, PTI, although it was built specifically for whole chain traceability, it actually allows you to have a lot more benefits that are unrelated to traceability and more related to operational and supply chain efficiencies. The PTI does allow for safety and security and traceability and standardization and automation and efficiencies, and you can get a return on investment from each one of these mutually exclusively. However, when you put them all together, you're certainly going to get more than your return on investment. So bottom line, if you do it and if you have to do it, then do it right. Don't just stop at traceability. Well, listen, that wraps it up. If you want to listen to the full webinar session, you can go on Redline's website and view it there. Thanks so much and have a great day.